Hello, friend.
Hello, friend.
How are you?
I am good. And
Good.
yourself?
I'm great. Let's say hello to the people. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Wellbeing Wednesday with DTM and then some. I'm your host, Stephanie Elise, and over to my side,
Wrong way.
my side is my
Brittany
co-host.
Elise.
Hey. So, Brittany,
How goes it?
what are we talking about today?
Today we are talking about the topic of those who do the most and or those who are what I would like to call dependable and I guess you would say struggle to ask for help and or the reason why oftentimes those type of people do not ask for help. So we just want to talk about that a little bit. Then we're also going to dive into some updates, what we have been doing individually and what to look out for. So,
Yes. We have a lot going on this
whole lot.
quarter two, this springtime here. Um, Before we dive into all that, I feel like there's some important current event things that we do need to touch on.
Absolutely.
I know most people are aware that there was a verdict in the case of the officer accused of murdering George Floyd, Derek Chauvin, I believe is how you say his name. And that verdict came down as guilty yesterday.
All three counts.
All three counts. Which I wouldn't say I'm happy because it's nothing to be happy about. A man still died.
Yeah.
Do we get some justice for it? Sure. But also, 30 minutes prior to that conviction, another police officer used, say, excessive force, in my opinion, on children, people under the age of 18. Now, was the victim necessarily doing the right thing? No. But as always, as we saw also, just last week, the officer always has the choice to use lethal force or non-lethal force.
Correct. And it seems to be disproportionate when it comes to Black and brown people when the choice ends up being to use force. Because we've seen numerous examples and times where when it's not Black and brown people, then all of a sudden the taser is used, the other measures that are taught are used. But for whatever reason, when it's Black and brown people, no matter what the age, it seems to be the lethal force is the option that is chosen. Oftentimes before I guess you would say, full picture can even be assessed. So,
yeah, so there's a lot of work to do. It's exhausting as a mother of both a little girl and a little boy, especially when my daughter out here, she's got co-parents. My girl is very young, but most people wouldn't think that. I literally, it's funny, last time I went to a restaurant and we had to tell the waiter, stop giving her these adult cups. She is ordering from the child's menu. We're clear, I'm not paying for this adult lemonade because she is a child. Oh, I thought you, yeah, I know you did think that. But also, you know who else thinks that?
the world.
These police out here.
Yep. I literally had a family member this week say, how old is your daughter again now? And I was like, 7. 7? No, there's no way. I would have thought she was at least, 10 or 11. Like, she's so tall. And I was like, yeah, she's 7. 7.
So, I don't know. It's got me in a weird space because we also celebrate my son's birthday. I'm excited for my son. He's happy. It's adorable because again, he's young, but also that's just another year older for you guys to think he's a threat because he's living and breathing, walking down these streets.
Yep. Yeah, my son went out driving last night to run an errand, and apparently the cops had, multiple cars pulled over. And when he got home, he was like, visibly shaken. And I was like, "What's wrong?" They just had all of them pull over, and I didn't know what was going on. I just wanted to get home. I just kept saying, "I want to get home." And I said, "Well, what did they have them pulled over?" I didn't even look. I just kept going. I looked over and realized that he said it was like 3 or 4 cars they had pulled over. And he said, I just kept going. I just wanted to get home. And it's like, you always know the undertone to what that means,
Absolutely.
Because you don't know of those 3 or 4 cars, how many of those individuals will make it home. The county I live in is predominantly Black and brown people. So the likelihood that those people who were pulled over, it's very high that they were Black and brown people. So, and again, it's a risk and a fear that unfortunately takes place every time. Sirens that are supposed to be a sign of, safety and protection are now essentially a warning sign of fear, and anxiety for Black and brown people. And it is unfortunate. I feel like as a people and as a nation, we should have and could have gotten a lot further by now. But it seems like for every step we take forward, like you said, the George Floyd case, we take 10 steps back.
It's funny that you mentioned that because I was just sitting here contemplating how I wanted to approach this at the start of the podcast today, and I was like, you know what? Even as slaves, they valued us more to not take our lives because they needed our production.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, yes, slavery is a horrible thing. We're not anyone's property. But I also had a value to you, which is crazy to me.
Yeah, it's the same thing now, though. I would say, it's just we have a value in a different way. The power of the Black dollar. We're known to be consumers. We're known for things like that. That's why you see the difference in like advertising and, everything has some type of cultural, stance to Black culture and things of that nature. Because
but see, I don't even think they value our dollar. I don't think it's a value of our dollar. I think it's covering your behind so you can do what you've been doing.
Yeah, but I think at some point, just working with these large consumers, these large consumer brands, there's definitely the conversation behind the scenes that it's the value of the dollar, and we need to make sure we're using Black-owned businesses, or at least appear to be using Black-owned businesses, because that, like you said, maybe it's not the actual value of the dollar, but there's definitely, like you said, the appearances that there's value of our dollar for sure. I've been a part of quite a few conversations where that it's definitely a thing with these major brands. That's what I will say. But to your point about us being value, we weren't valued there either, though, because you think about it, at the end of the day,
we weren't valued there. Well, no, let me clarify that. Like we weren't valued there. We weren't valued there. Howsoever, I would say to an extent there was a thought process that has completely diminished in current day.
I see it both ways. I would probably agree. I would probably disagree, though, just to say that I feel like we were a commodity then and we are a commodity now, just in a different aspect. It's how I see it. We were needed for something then. Yeah, exactly. We were needed something.
Maybe more so that the commodity was more all-reaching back then than it is now, and that's where the problem is. I mean, well, not to say that wasn't a problem then. That's not what I'm saying, but
because think about how many slaves were thrown off the ship. How many slaves? It wasn't a matter of, oh, we need all of you. No, we just need the ones who are willing to
Yeah,
work and do what we
that's
want you to
true.
do. And those of you who are not going to conform, good riddance. You're not humans. You are, like you said, you are a commodity. You will work or you will die. Your choice. We don't care about your families. We're going to rip your families apart. If I need this man at this plantation and this woman at this plantation and your kid in the field doing this, that's what's going to happen. I could care less. So that's why I say that I feel like it's a different perspective to it. But at the end of the day, we were a commodity then. We're a commodity now. There was no value then. There is no value now.
That's a fair assessment. Yeah, I'm just, it's just exhausting.
It is.
And this ain't your cup of tea, what we're talking about. You ain't my type of people. Sorry. Sorry.
I mean, I think it just comes back to us as a people having to have, pride and join together. Everyone knows that there is power in numbers. I'll give you an example. Just the same way when there was the hate crime against the Asian community, and they pulled together within days to make sure that all the victims were taken care of. And unfortunately, you don't see that a lot in our communities. But again, in our defense, a lot of that is strategic. It's systematic. They systematically made sure that there was division between us because they knew that there's power in numbers and that at any given time, if we would join together, then they would not be able to continue what they were doing, which is why, we have been able to see strides over time in history, with allies and with, again, coming together. So, the main thing is just to keep the division in our neighborhoods and, within our community and within our culture, because the thought process is if they never join together, if they never collectively work together, they'll stay where they are. You have the pockets of African Americans that make it and are successful, but you'll always have those people psychologically who do have that crabs in a barrel mentality, who do just follow a lot of the systematic and things that were ingrained in us since slavery, and it's unfortunate. I will say that I feel like as a people we have to stay optimistic. It is heartbreaking and it will definitely tear you down, but that's the goal. And if you allow that to happen, then they win. You For me, it's especially when it comes to my kids, just keeping them educated and letting them know their rights, letting them know how to proceed if God forbid they ever get into a situation like that. And when things like this happens, explain it to them as well, because it is, for me, it's very triggering. But again, I don't want to bring that energy into the household, so.
Yeah, I think the biggest frustration for me is with my kids coming from a biracial background.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of my family don't get it, but they never will get it. But not that they never will, they don't choose to understand.
They choose not to understand.
Choose not to understand.
Mm.
You choose not to look at it from a perspective of someone else, but make your own declarations on something you can have no knowledge of. None
Correct.
whatsoever.
I mean, and the unfortunate part is even families that do not come from a biracial background, there are some black and brown people who are just like, well, he or she shouldn't have been doing that. That they have their own level of, ignorance or perceived privilege where they choose not to understand that this is an injustice. So, I mean, it's unfortunately is one of those things. Ignorance is bliss. And like I said, I think that goes across races, unfortunately. Like you said, I mean, I've spoken to black people who will argue you nail to toe, like, well, if they weren't doing this, they wouldn't have to worry about that. And white people are killed too. You act like only black people are killed. It's like, are you crazy? Are you crazy? But again, people oftentimes have trouble having empathy for situations they can't see themselves in or never imagine themselves being a part of. So if you have that perceived privilege, even as African American, a lot of times you'll have, and it's like, look at the veteran, the African American veteran the other
Mm-hmm.
day. That
Mm-hmm.
situation where they
Yeah.
pepper sprayed him and dragged him out of
Yeah.
the car, and he was in uniform.
Yeah.
I'm sure he never, and his hands were up the whole time, and he said, "I am scared.
Mm-hmm.
Please open my door for me. I do not want to move my hands." And the cop told him, "You should be." He told him, "You should be scared."
Even
That to
my
me is a
own
problem. This man has put his life
experiences.
on the line for this country.
Yeah, I mean, even my own experiences, they seem left field to me. They seem left field to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not understanding why when I'm calling the police about suspicious activity, I'm being questioned on my validity to live in a neighborhood.
Correct. Correct.
Finding myself telling, I don't know, I think he was like a nature solicitor, but he was a
Mm-hmm.
young black guy, and me not understanding why I'm telling him, get in your car and leave now, because that sun's about to set.
Mm.
Not fully understanding that myself. But when I
Mm.
have these two children and trying to explain to them that in essence, some of their own family might be very well against them by their lack of empathy. That's not a fun thing to have to do.
No, not at all. And it's not it's something you should never have to do, quite frankly.
Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, we are all human. So it comes down to humanity. I don't care if I cannot relate to your experience. I'm not Asian, but my heart broke when, I saw
Mm-hmm.
that hate crime. These people are just doing their jobs.
Mm-hmm.
My heart broke for them. It's humanity. And that's the problem, that so few people have humanity,
Yeah.
regardless of race. Because I feel like if you had any sense of humanity, you would understand that very few times is there a need for lethal force for
Very
you
few
to take a
times.
life. When you go back and say, when you have to go back and justify why this person is no longer on this earth, and their family is mourning, so many times it's not justified.
And it's crazy because I've seen it in live action where, oh, someone just said to you, oh no, they're cool. And you literally turned off like an attack dog's trained. You've turned off and you want to be now over here talking about the weather with the person you just had your gun trained on, trigger figure ready to go. Because someone said, oh no, it's okay. Oh, why? Because she doesn't look the type, so therefore he must be cool.
Mm.
And it's, yes, they have a job to do. It's their job to protect us,
Mm-hmm.
the people they serve. But when we are gunning down children within 19 seconds of getting out of our vehicle, that's a problem. When we are shooting more than once to disarm a child, if we thought lethal force was necessary. Let's also be clear, we're not long rifle shooting them from rooftops. You're standing on a driveway with at most maybe 10 feet away from them, at most. But I doubt you're that far because you walked up on a bunch of children.
Correct.
You can't hit the broadside of a barn with 4 shots. You got no reason doing it to a kid.
And
And
where's your training
not
to
justifying what she
escalate the
was
situation?
doing, what her having a knife or her attacking it, that's not what I'm doing here. End of the day, though, 4 shots, 4 shots, no taser. Did she lunge at you? No, not been reported, not been shown.
Have they released the video for this most recent one? I apologize, everyone. I'm not all the way up to speed.
They have confirmed what was in the video. They have not released it to the public.
Okay.
But anyway, that was supposed to only be 15 minutes. We're 5 minutes past it. That point. Because we could go on on that. That's not what we told y'all we were going to talk about today. But no, we don't. We will not. We can't, as Black mothers, shy away from these topics.
You can't.
Yeah, if it's not your cup of tea, that's fine. That's fine. Don't let it be your cup of tea.
I mean, I look at it like, everyone has their own opinions. At the end of the day, though, the conversation is a real conversation, and it's our reality. So what's the point of not having it? Like you said, at the end of the day, I have a son. I have a Black son, Black daughter, and a Black husband.
When I'm driving 40 minutes out my way to host a birthday party, because if I had them bring that same mobile nurse birthday party to where I live, I'd be afraid that some cops might show up and start popping off. That's why I have these conversations.
Yeah, I had someone tell my husband yesterday, my husband who cuts everyone's grass in the neighborhood, moves people's trash, anytime anyone needs help with anything, he's the go-to. I had a neighbor tell him last night, he's scary. And he said, well, what's scary about me? You just look like you don't play. What does that mean? What does that mean? So you yourself, and again, this was another Black person. So you yourself already perceive, because he's a Black and brown man who's larger, I guess, and dresses, I guess, urban, that he's scary. But what has he done to scare you or anyone else in this neighborhood? Because
he didn't play your court gesture. That's what it is. He didn't smile on your face.
But he does smile in her face. He does help her out. He has helped her, her children, and her family out. So it's, but the world we live in.
Moving on. Let's move on to our next topic of stress there, Britt. These spring to-do lists. Oh, so spring is sprung. Second quarter is here. I don't know about you, but I am beyond booked. With work stuff, with family stuff, with just also trying to carve out. I'm not even gonna say, listen, this ain't a lifestyle brand. Can we just say that? I'm not gonna tell you I'm out here trying to carve out self-love time. I'm not. I ain't got time to carve out self-love time, okay? Y'all can keep that. I'm trying to carve out sleep time, eat time, breathe time, okay? Correct. # breathe time. That's what I want. But yes, so I've got a bunch of projects going on. One of my favorites right now, which I'm sure it's your favorite too, Brittany, would be the Modern Mom on the Move virtual conference, as that is coming upon us, girl.
Girl.
You excited?
I am. I'm excited. I am nervous, but I always get nervous leading up to the Modern Mom on the Move conference because it means so much to me. It is another one of my babies, It's CJ, Selena, Paco, and Modern Mom on the Move. Those are my babies. So I'm really excited this year, though. We have a really good lineup. I'll be honest, I think this might be one of the best lineups, quite frankly. 14 speakers, and we're speaking about a little bit of everything, but I think why I'm so excited this year is that everything is tied together. So I usually have topics. I usually have a theme, and I usually have topics. But this year, the theme and the topics all tie together. So this year's theme is Manifest Your Moment. And so all of the sessions are talking about different things to manifest, whether it's manifesting patience, manifesting money, manifesting understanding. We have a session that we're doing for with mothers of children with developmental needs. And so that's just, manifesting understanding, similar to the topic we started off this podcast with. A lot of times people don't understand, and we are ignorant about a lot of things. So I don't only want to your point, Stephanie, make this a lifestyle thing. I want it to be an educational thing as well. I want to know how we as a network of mothers, we as a network of mompreneurs can help other mothers, depending on what situations they are in, because there are ways that we can be advocates. Just because it's not your everyday life doesn't mean that there's not, an aspect that you can play or a way that you can help and give back. We have another session about organizing your life. We're really excited about this one because I need it. That's all I can tell you guys. I need it. This year has started off as a complete and utter whirlwind, and every time I think I quote unquote got it together, life throws another curveball at me. So that panel is discussing meal prep, journaling, like happy planning, as well as organization. So we have three of the best, the best of the best, who are going to, give us some tips and hints on how to do that, and how to effectively do that as well. Because I can meal prep, but by Wednesday I'm out of food and it just doesn't make sense. So it's just things like that. I have a happy planner. I mean, I can show you that I put nothing in it for this week. So just, utilizing the resources that you have and making them work for you. And, just finding ways to really be more intentional about the things that you do so that you can manifest your moment. We actually have 2 workshops this year, manifestation workshops this year. So last year we started off with a affirmation exercise that was really well received by everyone who attended. So I wanted to keep with the theme of that. And so we're actually doing a sound bath. And I'm not sure for those of you who know what sound bath is, but it's a type of healing where there are these glass bowls, and there's a wooden mallet that is used. And
that was that the metal bowl, like the
yes,
okay,
so it might be metal. I'm not really sure.
They're called. I think they're called singing bowls. I'm not.
So what happens is when they do that after woo, it's a frequency that is created, and the frequency lends to healing and calming and resetting of the mind. So we're actually kicking off the conference with that. So really excited about that. And then we're going to come back from lunch and actually have a session about manifestation with the use of crystals. So again, just really fun, exciting things. Some really good giveaways this year. Bigger and better, actually. That's the other thing. I'm, blessed to have sponsors and, supporters who see the vision and who have come back each year, and, each year come back bigger and better. And myself as well, as the business grows, I feel like it's important to give back. So making sure that I'm also bringing and giving more, our VIPs, some of them have probably already received them in the mail now, their prep boxes. So the prep boxes have a lot of goodies to help get ready for the conference and, really kind of just set the mood. And then we're also, for our VIPs, we're offering lunch. So not only are you going to get the conference, but you really don't have to think about anything. Everything is done ahead of time for you with the box. And then you can have lunch as well during the conference, or breakfast, whatever your heart desires. So just really excited about, again, stepping it up and, taking it to the next level, because that's really what it's about. As the business grows, I want to make sure that this network is growing. It's not just the social thing for me. It really is about us making change and, helping to change each other's lives. I met Stephanie through this through Modern Mom on the Move, and I do feel like having Stephanie in my life has changed my life. And I know so many other connections.
For the good, though, right? For the good.
Yes, for the good. I know so many other mothers within the network who have made connections that have changed their lives as well. Some who have gone on to be able to be a mompreneur full time. They've been able to walk away from their 9 to 5. So, it's not just, and I will say that is what sets this conference apart from any other, mom conference, mom event, is that it's transformational, quite frankly. And people will tell you, those that attend, you get, it's not just the hoorah and the motivation. It's, real things that you can take away with you, and, real resources that can help you change your life. the vision and the mission of manifest. The mission and the vision of Modern Mom on the Move is to connect busy mothers to resources to help, navigate you through this controlled chaos called motherhood. And, we do that through the curation of events. So this is just one of our signature events that really steps that up between the vendors, the sponsors, the speakers. Again, and it's an experience. That's the only way I can put it. It's an experience. And I've yet to meet anybody who has attended that will say different. I have people who attend who aren't mothers yet, or who were not mothers when they first started attending. And, they're like, oh, knowing that I have this network and this resource, I'm good to go. So that's all I got.
Yes, I'll say I'm excited for your conference this year.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can I just say one other thing that we're doing this year that we haven't done? We're doing an after party. So those who know me know I love music. Music is a release for me, and I'm all about a good time. So I feel like after we get all this knowledge and we're connecting and we're networking and, learning how we can help each other and, networking and sharing how you can help others. That's the other thing. Like if you're looking for a way to connect with other mothers, or you have a service or product that you want to share, this is a great opportunity for that as well. We definitely take advantage of the services and commodities and services that are available through the network. But yeah, after all of that happens, we are having an after party. We have a DJ. We have 2 cocktail mixes that for those with your VIP boxes, you already are aware of what those are. For my regular attendees, you'll be getting those this week. I'll definitely be sending you the recipes as well so that you can prepare. So yeah, just again, it's going to be a good time. That's what I will say. I don't know where else you could get all of this for the maximum price of $45. I do not know where.
I think for sure you can't get this anywhere else. This is an exclusive that we're doing for the conference. There will be a raffle, y'all, for a DTM and then some insulated tote bag with a Moscow Mule set in it. So this is exclusive. There's only 3 of these bags in the world.
Period.
You could be the 3rd owner of this magical bag. And what I love about it is that because it's insulated, you put your groceries in it, or we can do what we're really gonna do: put our beverages in it for the beach. So,
I was like, what I had in mind for it. But yeah, definitely.
And
that's the thing about it. You get access to all of these exclusive things. And like I said, for the value, like I don't want to be, toot my own horn, but you're crazy to not take advantage of this value because I'm just saying, like, do me a favor, go online, Google mom conferences, come back and tell me how much they cost and what you got out of it.
My favorite thing of the box, because y'all know I order my box. I live for some DoorDash, and you got these Grubhub lunch coupons in there, so I can get lunch too. So I don't even have to worry about that one on the conference. I just gotta find somewhere to stash the kids so I can enjoy and absorb everything in the conference.
It's all taken care of, boo. I got you covered. You got a stretch ball. You got a pen with a stylus. Okay. I like pens. I write notes, and I've recently gotten into scripting for manifestation. So a good pen is a must for me. So I made sure that you guys have good pens. You don't have the little cheapy deepy Dollar Tree things. Even though I love Dollar Tree, no shade to Dollar Tree. I love Dollar Tree, but these are not Dollar Tree pens.
Nice. Just so everyone knows, I know we put up there the web address where you can find more information about it. But y'all need to get on that because it is actually May 1st.
It is.
And y'all got what, 2 weeks? 2 weeks to get
Yeah. Oh, and I'll say it for those who are listening and not watching. The website is manifest.modernmomonthemove.com. Created by SEM Web Designs, of course.
What? They're fabulous. I love them. Oh
they are. I can't get enough of them. They're just amazing. If you're looking for a website, that's where to go. But all jokes aside, like even like I explained to the vendors, just being able to have, you're not even, it's one thing to do an event and you're there and people support. It's another thing to have your brand on a website, its own individual website for people to come and support. So like I said, I'm not going to keep pushing it. Like she said, May 1st, it's going down. We're going to have a good time. with or without you all, but we would hope it would be with you. The tickets are coming in like crazy this week, which is yet another reason that I am stressed. Making sure we have everything, making sure that I'm sending out all these welcome emails and making sure everyone has what they need. But yeah, definitely check it out. We'd love to have you. It's going to be a good time. I promise you.
Y'all might see me on there. Y'all might see me
Hey
in a room
now.
in front of a fireplace. Who knows? Might be leading a fireside chat. Who knows? It might be a thing.
She is.
But again, for those listening, manifest.modernmomonthemove.com. If that is quite a lot to write down, just go to Eventbrite and search Modern Mom on the Move. You can find the event there. Purchase your tickets there as well.
Boom.
So, as I said, that was one of my big projects that I've been working on. It's getting that launched, and then on May 1st, it'll be all hands on deck. And I probably will be in a room because I don't know. I'll have this part together. This part probably won't be together. So it'll be fine for the fireside chat. We'll just put an overlay on it. Nobody knows, right?
They'll never know.
Beauty mode on Zoom doesn't do like whole body. It just be like fixing the blemishes. So outside of that, we did one child's birthday. Both my kids are born in April. So we had one party, went off, huge successes. Shout out to Monster Mini Golf over here in Elkridge, Maryland. Great time. They have a special package. If you are a parent that's just like, you know what? I would hate to give my kid another, Zoom birthday. Say Monster Mini Golf actually had a great deal for a weekday party. Maximum of 6 attendees. So you don't even have to worry about, sorry, I could only invite 6 people, guys. We went with the first 6 names we pulled out the fishbowl. Okay. And for us, we went with the ones that we already knew were going to hybrid school. So it kind of made it easier. Great time. I mean, we basically were there from the time the party started till the place closed. Not an issue. Kids had fun, very accommodating. Everything was actually very clean. And the other nice thing, since it was a weekday, nobody else came in there. Like, there were a couple of couples that came in to putt-putt. But when you're hosting a party for kids, they had that whole little arcade area. Nobody touched that stuff but our kids. So it was very, very hygienic in that respect, where you're not even worried about others being there.
COVID friendly.
Very COVID friendly. So check. We got birthday number 8 for my daughter done. And actually today, I've got birthday number 2 for my son because he turned 6 yesterday. So that one's going to be interesting. It's not close. We got to travel for that party. But hopefully it'll be good. I mean,
it will. Manifest that thing. Manifest that thing. It's going to be amazing.
See, I don't know how to manifest, so that's why I'm going to the conference. So, that's cute. I'm a pessimist in my true nature. So manifesting stuff is like, that's dumb. But we're gonna get into it. We're gonna manifest. It's gonna be great today. I haven't started a single
website contracts.
That's true. I've got several contracts, exciting things coming out on the SCM web design side. Knock on wood, I say I'm at capacity at the moment, but
she could take 1 or 2 more.
I'm also not gonna turn away business.
There we go.
But yeah, that's actually doing really great. And in, true fashion of our podcast, DTM and then some, doing the most and then some. Are we doing too much or doing it changes for how I'm feeling at the moment. We're doing the most.
Yeah, it's doing the most.
Yeah. I don't know. Every time, that's just me. My brain be trying to trick me. Be like, oh no, you're doing I'm not too much. I am not too much. Let's be very clear. I'm all you need and then some. Okay, it's not too much, not too little, the right amount. But I am doing the most. Crap, what was I doing the most with?
You said in true DTM fashion.
Oh yes, thank you. See what I'm saying? My mind be messing with me. The bakery, The But Bake It Keto
Keto.
bakery that I have launched is fully kind of underway now. Um, we're gonna have some Mother's Day boxes coming out. I don't think I've talked about the bakery on here before, but basically, I try to live a keto lifestyle. Those who don't know what keto is, cut your carbs, zero sugars, and by cut your carb, like you can only have 20 net carbs a day. So basically, you're cutting everything delicious except for veggies, cheeses in moderation, and your meats. Um, I am a sucker for dessert, so I'm not giving up dessert. That's the one thing I get to have. So what I'm doing is actually taking your traditional recipes out of grandma's recipe book on desserts and making them, so I call it ketifying them. So making keto friendly versions of it. I'll be doing a Mother's Day box, going to feature some amazing pound cake. Y'all won't believe me when I tell you this pound cake is keto. You won't. You really won't. My husband swears I'm lying to him every time. Creme brulee, mom's fancy. We need a little creme brulee.
Oh.
Get the little blowtorch out and sear that thing for you.
I have a question.
Yes.
Okay. Will Bake It Keto be a vendor at the Modern Mom on the Move conference? So attendees, will there be an option if they want to order some things?
You know what?
Some Mother's Day boxes?
See, this is why you run a conference, Brittany. Yeah, we could definitely put a Mother's Day box pre-order on there. That would be fabulous.
Just a thought. It just came in. I figured I'd share it right here live.
Oh, right here live. I like it. Mark the time. 42 minutes in. We just added Bake It Keto to the website.
Boom.
Awesome.
No, because I always do the conference. That's part of the reason I always do the conference before Mother's Day, because I like for the vendors to get additional exposure for the attendees if they're shopping for Mother's Day or just shopping for themselves. That I can buy myself something before Mother's Day, especially if it's something that has to be pre-ordered like that. So yeah, that's actually the reason that when I first started it, I've always done it the week before Mother's Day for that reason.
I love it. That solves a problem for me, just because doing the most, it's like, how are we gonna get that marketing out there? But yes, absolutely. You could order your Mother's Day boxes through that. So it'll have a couple of little goodies. We do some cake pops / truffles, depending on whether you want a stick or not. A lot of things. So that's actually putting the box together, starting to bake that stuff this week. So by Friday, I will have that menu together so people can start giving me some pre-orders. So I am excited about that. I think it's a good way for me to stay in a happy creative space. Despite a lot of my creative energy I have channeled into businesses, including baking, but this baking business still feels like a fun creative space. Yeah. Not to say like my web design doesn't, but like that's business. That's business. This just gives me, also because I do most of my baking at night. I don't know how many people watch us are avid bakers, but like where I live, now I do have a gas oven, but we're very close to a large body of water, like a man-made lake, and that humidity. If you bake, humidity it'll mess with your bake.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, moisture in your air will really affect your bake.
Really?
Same way using electric stoves or ovens versus using convection versus gas.
I'm gonna start using that as my excuse when my stuff doesn't come out right. I have an electric oven, so that's probably why it looks like that.
That's why your cake flops. That's fine. That's fine.
I like that.
But it does. So for me, when I do my baking, I do it mainly at night. And no, I don't mean like 6 p.m. I mean like 10 p.m. or later, because then the humidity is down and my kids are also down. So it just, it does double work for me. So now I can be creative and not stressed by the other home stuff going on. I'll have to say, like, my bake's been really good because I'm not Distracted, y'all. Ain't no distractions going on at midnight. Just myself.
Just yourself.
Just myself or whatever Netflix got going on. So we gotta put on the background noise Netflix. I can't jump into something new. Can't jump into something new while you're baking.
No, not at all.
No. But yeah, that's all I think. Said everything that's going on with me.
I think so.
PTA. I got PTA stuff going on. But, you know, that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, I think that is primarily what I have going on over here. With all these things we've got going though, you and I are both Aquariuses, which means we both have a tendency to be very independent people and very I don't want to say demanding. Demanding has a specific connotation to it, but exacting.
Yeah.
So we're both very exacting personalities as well. And I don't even think it's just like my husband's an Aquarius and he has an exacting personality. He's just wrong in his exacting, but he does have a very exacting personality as well. So with all these things going on, it kind of goes back to like the school project, right? You and three other people were on the school project, and then you're the one that's mainly doing it. Yeah. That's why in our description for today's episode it's called, the catch-22 of being independent and a go-getter, really. It's when we talked about like when you ask for help and that help's not exactly right, it's almost more frustrating. And go ahead, Bert.
I was gonna say, I think it's when you ask for help and the help's not exactly right. And then it's also when people ask you if they can help, knowing that they really don't want to. I think it's a two-edged sword. People know that you are a go-getter and you're going to get it done. So it's almost that, oh my gosh, don't do too much. Don't take on too much. Oh, but can I give you this too? And it's like, wait a minute, that's contradicting. And then it's the other way. Well, it's like, oh my gosh, I could, I always tell people if I ask your help, it's because I really need it. Like, I really need it. If there's a way for me to make it happen, I'm going to make it happen.
Yeah.
So if I'm asking your help, it's because I genuinely need it. And if once I ask, like you said, it's you let me down or you do it wrong, then it just lends to me not asking for help. Like I've had that issue for years, being a go-getter, especially in the space of things that a lot of people don't like to do events. And, I planned events for 5 years and, now in this new job, somehow they found a way to push me back in that here too. And it's like, I don't mind it. I do enjoy it. Like it's a thing for me. I, kind of like you, like it's my creative way. I like to see it. It's like baking. I like to see everything come to fruition, like all the little bits and pieces. However, it is frustrating when it's, oh, well, if it's too much, let me know. And it's like, but if I let you know, then what would happen? Because this is not one of those things where you've set a date, It'd be like right now if I was like, yeah, I'm so stressed. We can't do the Modern Mom on the Move conference. Nah, that's not how it works. It's May 1st. So no matter what happens between April 21st and May 1st, that means no sleep for Brittany or whatever that looks like. It has to happen. And I think that's the part that frustrates me, at least, that people pretend to not realize, I don't think everyone knows what all goes into events, and that's fine. But then also it's just that, oh, but if it's too much, but what are you going to do though? Are you going to assist?
Right.
Or are you just going to tell me you're going to assist? Because you telling me you're going to assist is not helpful. And or if I have to sit there and walk you through, then that creates more work for me as well. I'll give you an example. It's a shout out as well. So 2 years ago, the 3rd annual Modern Mom on the Move conference, one of my coworkers who I look at as like one old coworker that I look at as a mentor, Her name is Ayana Castro, and she worked in the communications department of WSSC, whereas I worked in the supplier diversity office. And so she had spoken at my first conference, and we just supported each other over the years. And so I posted the agenda and everything like I usually do. And she called me. She said, "Hey, I want to come to the conference this year." I said, "Okay, just get your ticket." She's like, "No, but I'm thinking a little something else." And I said, "What are you thinking?" She's like, "You need an MC." And I was like, "Oh, well, I didn't put that in the agenda." She's like, "That's the point." She's like, "You can't host the event, be a speaker, this. She's like, you're doing 5 roles. She said, that means that, she said, for this agenda that you have, that means every single time you need to be in the room introducing. So that's too much work. She said, you need to be, walk in the room, work in the room, helping other people out, in the other room with the vendors, seeing what's going on, so on and so forth. She's like, you don't need to do that. I'm going to be your MC. And I was like, now that, people, is how you help. That is how you help, because it took so much off of me to have her offer. She wasn't just offering to help, she was offering a solution. And I think that's the difference. Don't just offer to help. That'd be like me saying, "Hey, Steph, I'm gonna come over and help you bake," but have no clue what I'm doing. And so you have to say, "Brittany, pour this in there. Girl, go home. You're in the way.
Right.
You're in the way at this point."
Yeah.
So I think that's something important when you're dealing with people who are go-getters, or people who, quote unquote, do get it done. When you see them drowning and you do want to help, offer a concrete solution. Don't just say, "Hey, I want to help." And then your helping is them having to send you a million things, or them having to tell you a million things, or walk you through it, because that is not helping. That's just adding more to the list, quite frankly.
Right.
The never-ending list of things to do. So that's what I was thinking about that as I was prepping for this episode, because this week has been chaos per usual. So yeah, like you guys can't see, but my first meal of the day is here. That's not eaten, clearly. I started off this morning at 5 a.m. and I think maybe 3 hours of sleep last night, if that. My project for work is right here. It was due at 12:30. Yeah. So yeah, I'm surrounded by things right now. And then the whole other side of the couch is all Modern Mom on the Move. But again, it's solutions, It's solutions.
Yeah, I would agree that I think for me, how it becomes a catch-22 is I am very, very, very exacting. So even if you are able to help sometimes and you do have an ability, my vision is always going to drive anything I put my name on. So even if what you're doing is great, but it's not in line with my vision, you're gonna help me, and I know it's asking a lot. This is why I don't ask people for help. You have to be okay with me tweaking everything you're gonna do.
Gotcha.
Because I need things. I shouldn't say I need things, but I like things a certain way. I do a lot of stuff, so everything in my mind is fairly compartmentalized. And though I may not say it out loud, you think you did A through Z. No. But there's a double A, and there's double B. So we gotta get through that. We gotta get through to double Z. So this is not gonna get me through double A, double B, double Z. So I find it difficult to ask for help if it's not from someone where I know they know how I function in that space. There are a few people in my life that know how I function in that space. There are others that I wish they knew, or like I feel like they know how I do, but maybe it's their mission to tell me stuff that's too that's too type A of you, and I want to help you get out of that. You can't now. I'm 34. Okay, there have been things in my life that have brought me to this place. Some of the people I look up to the most in my life are this way, so there's nothing you can tell me That's gonna tell me this is really the wrong way, unless you are the person I put in my life to tell me that.
Gotcha.
But yeah, like you said, the whole, helping, but it was polite conversation. Like, it's the PC thing to do, to say, oh, let me help you. But you don't really want to. You said, you don't bake. Brittany, you can say you want to bake, and you can come to my, because I'm sure I've done it to you. I know I've done it to my girl Tanisha. Like, listen, I'm just here to help put to wash the dishes. I'm not about to help you cook nothing. I'm just here because I felt like you needed a person in your space.
Mm-hmm.
That was my intention when I came here. And I'll tell you that when I get in your door. If you need me to do something at that point, say, no, Steph, I need you to do XYZ. Okay, I'll do it. But I'm telling you this because once XYZ is done, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to make you have this kiki, whether you wanted to have a kiki or not, or you're going to have to tell me to go home. And I wish more people, even if, you're offering to help, and really you just felt like you needed someone in your presence. Like you felt like that was, sorry, on camera. Like, ooh, the light tried to go out the window. I have to save it, y'all. Is what I needed. Just say that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Or don't come into my space with your own notions of what you're going to do. Because whether you're in my house or you're not, you're in my house now.
Yeah. And I think I'm a combination. I will say anyone who knows me would say I'm more of a bird. Like I'm free with it. So I kind of look at it's the way it feels. As long as it feels right. So I might have saw it.
Feelings.
I'm just telling you, I may have saw it like in my mind, like do.
Mm-hmm.
But if it comes out as do, but it still gives that feeling, I'm okay with that. I will say that I'm not as exacting as some Aquariuses. I do know a lot of Aquariuses are exacting. I'm more of with the water flow. Like I needed to.
And I hate water.
It can't. Yeah, you don't like water. See, I love it.
I literally hate water. So
yeah. See, it can't be a hot mess. Like anybody knows that. Like if my name is attached to it and it's a hot mess, then I'm upset at the world and I'm disappointed in myself for even allowing it to get to that point. Because I will legit kill myself to make it a success. So yeah, I am okay with you offering a solution, and it may be a solution I didn't think of. I'm open to that because I'm really big on collaboration and things of that nature. I'm not as exacting, but again, what I don't want is for you to be like, oh my gosh, you just have so much on your plate. Oh, I would love to help. How would you love to help?
Can we stop doing that in 2021 and beyond? First of all, just in general, if she's a mom, don't tell her what's on her plate. She know it's there. She needs 0 reminders from you. Tell her. Now, if you just want to take some off her plate, by all means, do that.
I'm putting something off my plate now. You can have it.
This is important, though. What we don't then get to do is come back and tell her, oh, I took this off your plate for you. You need to do it with, out of God's love for me, not for me to then give you appreciation for doing it.
Correct.
And that should go for me as well. Right? So though I am very exacting, if someone comes and they are helping me because I asked them to, I need to make sure I am acknowledging and appreciating that, whether I might secretly do it again at midnight.
Exactly. Because here's the thing, and that's why I always say, I am open to anyone helping me. But once you cross me, never again. Never again. So yeah. But on that note, we'll see all of you May 1st. Bring a friend. Order your keto boxes, your Mother's Day keto boxes.
Yes. Oh, they will. I should say on that. I will post the keto offer, the Mother's Day keto box offerings on the IG page for it.
Okay.
So.
But bake it keto.
Yeah. And pricing will be on that too.
Perfect. Okay.
So it will be, hold on one moment, I'm sorry. Yes, so pricing will be on that, and then I guess we'll probably just do it with a link for them to order. So probably be more so if they do pre-order to your site, it'll just be to connect with me so I can get that pre-order.
Correct.
So, but the IG is, let's see, I should remember this. What is my IG? It's but_bake_it_keto. But_bake_it_keto. Or you can just find me. I am literally on there at StephanieElise_IRL. Or you can find it through DTM and then some. Send us a message, we'll send you the link.
Right.
But yes, on that, thank you all for being here. I know we don't generally get hot and heavy into current topics on Wednesday's episodes. However, we needed to address some things. I don't want to say elephant in the room. It's not elephant in the room. It's the pollen, because the pollen's everywhere. So let's be clear. This isn't, a one and done situation. I strongly believe in our police force. However, I also strongly believe reform is necessary. So thank you all for joining us. Please get your ticket for Modern Mom on the Move's Manifest Conference. That is May 1st. If you want more information on that, again, find DTM and then some on our Facebook page. You can email us. You can find our IG, and we can give you any information you want about the topics covered today. Appreciate y'all being here. Have a great night. Bye.
Bye.